Good morning, everyone. We're just going to wait a few minutes for people to come aboard. Yes. Today we're going to be discussing freedom from fear. And Gaia has come in very strong today. And the rhythmical nature of the cycles that the Mother has, and by the Mother I mean the physical earth, the cycles that she has are cycles that we all have in our waking days, in our months, in our years. There are cycles for your body. There are cycles for your mind, and there's a cycle for your soul. Your soul is not bound by matter exclusively. Your soul, spirit of universal light, that is what you and I are as non-physical awareness, experiencing, expressing through matter, because we experience matter through the five physical senses, and we express our being out through the actions and words that we cultivate through physical matter. So one is a flow inward, and the other is a flow outward. Becoming free from fear means you begin to identify who you are as an awareness, not as the body and mind that you think that you are, but as the awareness which you are as being. Before we get into this too much further, I want to also do, we're going to do the monthly draw for our Patreons to see who wins a free reading with me this month. And I'm looking forward to seeing who the winner is. So we're going to just take my little jar of Patreon members here, place above my head. Good morning, everybody. And I'm going to pull a name out, and we're going to see who has won the reading this month. There we go. Okay. There we go. Jewel James. Jewel James, you have won the free reading with me this month. I'll send an email out to you today so that you can make arrangements as to pick your date and your time for your reading. That's Jewel James. Congratulations. You've won a free reading with me this month. Thank you for being a patron supporter. I really deeply appreciate it. It allows me to really focus on bringing these messages through, which we need. I mean, there's so many of us coming out. There are so many beings around the planet who's awakening to who they are, and they're transmitting messages of truth from their own soul, from other divine beings, from other multidimensional beings. There are so many levels and layers of reality, more than what we can see with our five physical senses, which is a small bandwidth of an infinite spectrum of consciousness. To become free of your fear, to become free from fear, means that you also need to understand who you are and who you are not. Understanding that when you came into this world, all of the information of this world came into your senses, through your senses, into your awareness, and all of your infinite potential collapsed down to this finite point of information called your identity, your body, your mind. And your body and your mind experience this way very differently than what you, as unbound awareness, non-physical awareness, experience it. What you call the Spirit of Gaia is simply the physical earth, which is a node, a small point, much like your physical body, is a small point of awareness through which Gaia expresses herself as a physical entity, expressing from a non-physical perspective of being. just as you and I, as awareness, express our infinite potential through a finite perspective of being called the physical body. The relationship you have to your body is almost identical in nature to the relationship that Gaia has with her body, which is the earth. And that there are many billions of humans, there are also many billions of individual planetary expressions of consciousness too. In order to be free from this energy that you call fear, it is time that you remember the relationship that you have to matter rather than the relationship that matter has to you. Many of you view yourself in relation to matter rather than recognizing that it's matter that relates to you based on who and what you are being aware that you are being. If you are being aware that you are just a body, then you have certain specific restrictions and limits on what you can express yourself as being through that form. When you know that you are not simply body, when you become aware that you are soul, spirit, awareness, the considerations of this earth have less influence on what will happen to you, and you have greater influence on what will happen in your world, whether that is the world of your individual experience or the world of your collective experience. To be fearless, to be free from that fear, is to know that fear and all of its children are not who you are. You are the generator of whatever emotional energy you choose to align your attention to. You are the generator of whatever emotional energy you align your attention to. If you align your attention to fear, there are very precise manifestations and events that will and are unfolding in your physical reality. As if you align yourself to a vibration of joy and excitement and playfulness, you will of necessity create very precise experiences and responses in matter from that level of your being. To reach a place in perception, where your 5 physical senses are not determining, the attention to conditions of experience that you wish to have. If you give attention to the vibration of joy, and you can keep your attention on that vibration long enough to see a change, and many of you get these little glimpses where you were thinking about something or you were feeling a certain way yesterday, and suddenly today this event that makes you feel that way you thought about yesterday occurs. And that is just a momentary thing where you thought or felt deliberately about what you wanted to experience, and it happened. But this does not have to be happenstance or appear random when you are deliberately aligning yourself to the state of vibration that you call joy or love or excitement, even when your senses should say you should be afraid or you should doubt or you should be uncertain. If your senses communicate that to you and you choose not to indulge your attention in them, you begin to break the flow of the world, feeling as if it's being imposed upon you. And now you, from the perspective of choice, begin to impose the vibrational nature of what you are choosing onto this world. It is not by chance that you see so much life flourishing on this planet. And it is not by chance that you see life as you know it not flourishing on certain planets. The cycles of planets are almost identical in nature to the life cycles of individuals in this world. You are born, you grow, you mature, and you pass away from matter, so too do all of the planetary consciousness have the same relationship to the matter that you observe in the events of time and space around you. I am, as this entity you call Gaia, comparatively limitless relative to an individual human, but I am not much different in terms of my expression compared to other planetary beings such as stars, or what you call gas giants, or even solar systems. There are different degrees. But in my awareness that I am the generator of the life on this physical body, that when this physical body ceases to exist, I, as awareness, will have the experience of my expression of life, and I will move on to other expressions of self through other mediums of matter, as will you as a soul go through the same process. That you, in your awareness of how you influence and affect matter, you will evolve in your experience to manifest and create and reorganize what you call energy into configurations of matter that represent the degree and extent that you have allowed your awareness to become liberated from the subjectivity to matter into the recognition that you are the one that's generating the expressions of matter. Thank you. That's amazing to me that we have that process, that we're actually going through a learning process of realizing we are generating experiences of matter. Matter isn't generating experiences for us, but we are generating experiences of matter by what we think, by what we feel, what we believe, what we eat, what we do. We generate experiences of matter. The quality of your body, the quality of your mind, the quality of the world around us is an extension of how we are utilizing our awareness as a creative expression of deliberate consciousness. How often do you wake up in the morning anticipating a most amazing day? How often do you go into a new situation with the excitement of what's going to occur? I remember when I was a child, very clearly through this body, how exciting from the moment of conception right up to around age 6, how exciting every day was at that point. And at age 6, I fell into the belief of what I was taught to think I am. And in falling into the belief of personality, I went into the fear that the false idea of I'm just a body and mind created fear. The idea that you believe that you are not able to influence the world around you is to keep yourself stuck in fear. The idea and knowledge that you are limitless potential, altering and changing matter, even those experiences that you do not like, you are influencing them, you're amplifying them or de-amplifying them by how you give them attention. And the minute you take your attention off a particular emotional energy, that manifestation in time and space begins to diminish. Yes, she's saying to me right now, there's a thing that I would ask that you do today, if you are so willing to understand how to find your freedom from fear, to know that you are, in fact, you are freedom. It is what you are. But that freedom must come through the deliberate and conscious and intentional awareness of what experience of energy you would have in this world. And that experience of energy is constructed by the deliberate attention to a specific feeling, whether that feeling is of joy or that feeling is of playfulness or excitement, but to be willing for today, as often as you can be mindful of, and especially when the vibrations that take you down into lower frequencies of fear, especially choose those moments when you would choose to elevate your awareness to the conceptual energy of joy. And I say the conceptual energy of joy because once you conceive the energy, the creative process for its manifestation begins. You conceive, you conceptualize, you vibrate intentionally on that joy or that playfulness or that excitement. And once you can maintain your attention to your conception, and you maintain it, and you maintain it, and you maintain it, that conception grows and expands in its manifested potential. For you are now directing the energy that comes through you from your source, to be very precise. So in those moments today where you feel ebbs of uncertainty, or moments of doubt, or you feel angry, any lower vibrational emotion, if you so choose to conceptualize something new in those moments, conceptualize the feeling of joy, conceptualize the feeling of calm, conceptualize the feeling of playfulness. Be willing to do this in spite of the messages of the five senses telling you something else is what should garner your attention. And in your willingness to maintain your conceptualization, you give life. Conception is the giving of life. You bring life from an undifferentiated state of your being into the construction of matter. You conceptualize a new reality. And one of the challenges that many of you face is that you do not hold on to your conceptualization. You begin the process, but you do not hold that conception long enough for it to become manifestation. Yes, she's saying in this simple process, if you are frequently applying yourself to these new conceptions, knowing that when you conceive of an alternate way of experiencing, you are giving life to it, and it is merely keeping your attention, which is your life, the flow of life through you from source, the flow of life through you that feeds the new conception, much the same way as the blood and the nutrition in a mother's body feeds the conception of the child in the womb. So too your new emotional conceptions are like a child, a creation of yours that you seek to nurture and nourish with your attention, with the flow of your life and your light, and your willingness to maintain that in spite of what the existing conceptions you've been struggling with are. You will reconceive a new reality, a new experience that you will have known that you deliberately manifested. And once the awareness that you are deliberately manifesting new conceptions of life as your experience in matter, you become free from all fear. You become free from all fear. For you will no longer be giving it your attention. It will no longer become a conception. You will take your life flow away from it. You will take your light, your energy away from fear, away from doubt, away from guilt, away from shame, away from the idea of impossibility. And you'll restore your awareness to where it belongs, the limitless potential that you are able to manifest even through that individualized form, relatively speaking. And I say relatively because on the conception of a planetary consciousness, there's a much vaster experience in terms of time and space and matter than what you have as an individual physical body. But you, as what you are, have no limits in your evolution through time, space, and matter, even to the consciousness where you are able to manifest conceptions that you call galaxies or universes or dimensions. Very exciting. Yes, please do this today. At every opportunity you may, reconceive, give new conceptions, give new birth to the experiences that you seek, and maintain your focus on your conceptions. She's saying you might also consider this to be an immaculate conception, where you are taking your energy and an idea that you cannot see and you bring them together. And this is a different process, but you are birthing a new expression of your being in time, space, and matter. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. This is delightful. This is freedom from fear, really. Just feeling her energy flowing through me, that the planetary consciousness, the awareness that is evolved to the level of a planet is simply a mastery of over physical time, space, and matter that we in these physical bodies are just at the beginning of from this perspective of individualized awareness. But let's get into some questions and answers today. And remember, if you want to support these messages, please remember to go to my Patreon page, patreon.com/William Michael Forbes, and become a patron. And yeah, I'll look forward to your support. Thank you so much. And again, those of you that come with your questions, if you want your question to be answered, because we get a lot of questions now and they're growing all the time, you can use the super chat feature in the chat section on your on YouTube, so that you can use the super chat, and for as little as $1 you can prioritize your question. I'll get it immediately. I'll be more than happy to take those questions first and foremost. But let's begin. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Allison, Bogumila. Hi, Lori, Farabida. Hi, Kira, Patricia. Lots of people here today. Wonderful. Wow. Yeah, interesting. Let's step back here. Wow, I can actually see further away now. That's really cool. Questions. Let's see. For those of you that are new to the channel today, remember, if you have a question, write the word question before your question, so my subconscious mind gets triggered by that and knows to look for your specific question. It knows the question is being asked. Question from Sunny Ukta. I got into the emotion of anger when my toddler gets into tantrums. Why do I also get angry, and how can I comfort and end it? Thank you so much. If you are willing to allow this one to have that expression from the perspective that they need to understand that they are expressing, without the judgment and without the anger, to be lovingly present with them, to be in a state of gratitude and joy that this young one is learning about their energy and how to express it. And while it is known that you do not prefer that expression, once you have no judgment about it, there is no resistance offered up to them. And it is the resistance to their behavior that strengthens it and reinforces it. If you lovingly and joyfully sit present with them from the perspective of you have the right to express what you are expressing. It is your energy and you are learning to use it. Remember, these young ones are learning to use energy in matter, some of them for the first time. If you are that space, that loving space, you will see a change. Yes, my brain, my William brain turns and says, you want to make certain that when a child is having a tantrum, that they are allowed to be at least safe when they're doing so, to feel safe with their energy. Yeah, but that's really good. I like that. Thank you so much. Thank you for that question. A loving space. Be a loving space for them. Because your anger will feed theirs too, right? When you're feeling frustrated or anxious, it feeds into theirs. Love does not feed fear. Love transforms fear. Love transforms fear. Aggression reinforces it. You know, Gandhi proved that. Gandhi proved that when he went into peaceful protests and rallied as many people to do this, to no longer choose to work, to sit down and say, we're not going to participate until you're willing to change. And that's very true. That's exactly what happened. So when you get to that place, they will surrender. When you get to that place of love and joy and acceptance, they will surrender. Great question, by the way. Thank you so much. Question from Jesse. Why is my twin flame never available? I've been manifesting her for 30 years with no luck. It's not about luck. It's not about luck. And again, if you're trying to manifest something outside of yourself, shift your perspective. Shift your perspective to, it's not something you're anticipating happening. How does it feel to have it now? To really feel the vibration of having that twin flame now. How does it feel when they're close? How does it feel when you communicate? How does it feel when you travel? If you align yourself deliberately to those energies and stay in them without trying to make it happen, it will just happen. But your frustration at it not happening keeps it not happening. To stay in alignment with the vibration that it is now. I feel this now. And to remain in that, regardless of what your five physical senses are saying, oh, they're not here, they're not here, they're not here, they're not. No, do not do that. Stay in the energy of it is now and feel that always, and it will be so. It's not a matter of time, it's a matter of inevitability. For all emotion becomes a manifestation in matter, time, and space. Oh, hi, Nicole. Thank you for that donation. Thank you so much for that $14 super chat. Really appreciate it. Question for Nicole. Last night, as I cleansed my crystals with sage, I felt someone with me. Who was with me? I felt several. Thank you. Yes, there were several. I get three come up right away. The first one is Master Saint Germain is the one that came first. Yes. Francis of Assisi came second. And I don't know that this other one, this feels like a Pleiadian being. But again, these are the three most dominant ones. There were others present as well. They're saying something about placing the crystal on the key points. They're saying the key points. When you sage the crystal, place it on the key points. What are the key points? They're saying the key points are here for you now, are for here. The key point to point, yes, the very point of the crystal here. They're saying 12 to 15 seconds. Longer if you feel more inside. And then into the throat. And into the heart. Yes. But these 3 points in this sequence, from here to here to here, in that precise sequence, they're saying to close the lower gate. They're saying close the lower gate, and by the lower gate, they're meaning the channel near the root chakra. So tighten the lower muscles in your buttocks. Tighten those lower muscles like you're trying to hold in, prevent the body from going to the washroom. Tighten those lower muscles when you're doing that activation in those 3 points. Yes, they'll dance with you. They're saying we in that alignment we will dance with you. I'll be interested, Nicole, when you walk through that process, to come back and share your experience with us tomorrow, perhaps on Supernatural Saturday, or the next time that you're doing a clearing of your crystals like that. That's really fascinating. Saging your crystals, and for you, those 3 points. They're saying there are other ways you can clear your crystals too. Yes. Metatron is saying there are other ways you can charge those crystals. He's saying you can lay them in configurations around you. You can lay your crystals in configurations around you and utilize the Merkaba. But he's literally showing like quartz crystals in a block around you, like a circle. Really cool. Thank you, Nicole. Great question. I love it. Question from Trish. Could you please explain more of the Andromeda connection I'm feeling? The Andromeda. Something about a peak. They're saying something about this connection is to establish a peak. There's a building up process that's occurring energetically while you are in this physical incarnation. They're here to get you to the peak. At the peak you will see. What does that mean? At the peak you will see. It is the point where she will understand the differentiation between her human self and her cosmic self. It is the point. It will be as a flash of knowing. This is the peak. We are here to assist her to this peak. It will be a flash of knowing. They're saying in your meditation, go up the stairs. What do you mean go up the stairs? They're showing me a spiral of energy going up. literally, okay, from the core, pulling the energy from the core of the earth and literally spiraling that energy up to a point, they're saying 2 feet above the head is where the peak of that awareness happens in energy. In energy more so than in time or space. Do not try to perceive this peak of energy, this cosmic awareness through the body, but in the experience of your awareness of it above. And that which is above will become below. The articulation of this energy will be inspired as opposed to contrived. You will be inspired from that moment. And we are here to assist you to this moment. And what happens at that point? There will be others that will come in after this. Yeah, there's so much more to that. Thank you, Trish. Thank you so much. Yeah, there's a lot more to that. I just want to give other people an opportunity as well. Thank you. Wonderful. What a beautiful day this is. Okay, just scrolling down. Question from Miriam. How can one avoid sleep paralysis? Thank you. That's a great question. Nobody's ever asked that question before. Let's see, what can be done to avoid sleep paralysis? They're saying you awaken while the body is asleep, but you have not learned to move your awareness beyond it. You are similar to a child stuck in fear, stuck in the fear, believing that you are limited to that matter exclusively. If you wish to alleviate this experience of paralysis, it would be beneficial for you in your meditations to recognize the distinction between what you are as the awareness and the body itself. They are very distinct manifestations of awareness. And if you choose to do this before you go to sleep, before you place that body to sleep, make certain you are differentiating between the body being at rest and you as the awareness which encompasses it. You are not the body. The paralysis comes from the illusion that you are simply matter and you're stuck in matter. So you are given the opportunity to liberate yourself from that in what we say here and now. Yeah, I like that. That's cool. Wonderful. Hi, Inshira. Thank you so much for that donation. Really appreciate it. 1111. I love it. Thank you so much. Question: any advice on getting rid of parasites in my body? Present for years. Thanks. Wow. Something about is it thought? They're saying something in mind. There is something in mind that you must release in the middle. She can release it from the middle. What do you mean by that? She must turn the light on. For her, she must turn the light on. What's that mean? Okay, the spark. Okay, they're saying a whole bunch of different things at once. I'm trying to slow it down so I can understand. The spark in her head. Okay, they're referring to the pineal gland. To ignite the spark. To ignite the spark in your pineal gland. How can she do that? Right. They're saying you need to, what do you mean by that? They're showing you moving your head around, but there's an actual, can I show her that? Yes. Okay. There's an actual way that anyone can learn to activate that gland in the brain called the pineal gland. But for you, they're saying you need to ignite the spark and be aware of its light. And in the awareness of its light, allowing that light to move through the body, they're saying we'll recalibrate it to the frequency that does not align to these things that you call parasites. These parasites you're referring to are not so much parasites in a physical sense, but they are parasites in an energetic sense. Yes. So when you're doing your breathing, during your meditation, draw your breath in from the lower belly. Draw your breath in from the lower belly And when you get your lungs full, tighten everything and let a bit of pressure be applied in the head. So like you're holding your breath, like if a child said, I want to hold my breath, I'm going to hold my breath. It's like that. You go, and you hold it, and you increase the pressure slightly in the brain to apply pressure on the pineal gland. And be very mindful when you do this. Hold your breath. They're saying for you, hold your breath for at least 7 seconds. And as you release it, be mindful of what occurs from within the central point of your brain, the release of energy. You will feel a euphoria that you have not felt before. And that is the spark being released. To stay in alignment with that spark, to deliberately let that energy permeate the body, will recalibrate it out of what you call this experience of parasites. That's really cool. But also there's practical three-dimensional things you can do too. Things like if they're actual parasites, you can do things like black walnut is a really great way to get rid of blood-based parasites. But also changing your diet, reduce the sugars in your diet, get caffeine out of your diet, get anything that produces an acidic environment in your body out. And you can also begin to align your body to an alkaline state, which does not support degrading parasites. Well, thank you for that question. It was really great. Wow, this is a great question from Tamara. What can I do with my fear that I am not enough? We love this question. Once you are aware of the fear that you are not enough, take your attention away from it. Take your attention away from it and go forward with the understanding that I am enough. With the fear that you're so acclimatized to believing, when you say, wait a minute, this fear of not being enough, this is not who I am. I am enough. I am whole. I am complete. There is always more of me than I require. It is in the face of your fear that you must turn away from it. This emotion does not represent who I am. Whether you call it fear, and this is true of any emotions that do not serve you, fear or anger, guilt or shame, to give them any form of attention is to literally feed them your life. You actually feed that growth. Learn to starve it by giving your attention away from it and putting your attention on those things that are useful. This is a process that this great awakening that we're all in. Like, this is the greatest awakening in human history unfolding this year, and watching it, realizing that emotions are not who we are. They are energy that have been configured into different degrees and intensity of vibration. And you can believe that you are fear, or you can believe you are joy, but you have to choose. You have to be conscious. I'm aware I'm feeling angry right now. I'm not going to allow that anger and expression through my body or attention from my awareness. I'm going to focus on patience. Anger is the opposite of patience. So whenever you find yourself feeling angry, move your attention to being patient. If you find yourself being fearful, move your attention to being calm. Get your body to be calm and relaxed and peaceful. Thank you, Trish. Really appreciate the donation. Thank you so much. I'd love to read some of your comments too, but I'm on them. Yes, thank you. Wonderful. You guys are really feeding each other here too. I love that. That's great. You're welcome, Miriam. Wow, wonderful. Yes, thank you so much. Glad to hear that. You're welcome. You're welcome. Wow. We are here. We are here. We are here. Wow, this is great. I'm really excited for all of you. That we are, freedom from fear means you don't. I love what Gaia was saying earlier, that we live the immaculate. Her concept of what she was explaining about the immaculate conception where we get an idea. I have to remember the exact wording. I'm now paraphrasing. That when you can, I'm sorry. I'm glad you guys were listening. But the Immaculate Conception is about our attention being given to specific ideas, and that the nature of the life that flows through you, life, you are life, I am life, we are the life that flows into matter through matter. And that when we give joy, when we give peace, when we give love, attention, we're conceiving a new life. So if you're living a life of anxiety or depression, you've been conceiving, giving attention to, maintaining that life. Pull your attention away from your anxiety, your depression, your fear, and move your attention towards conceptions, actions, physical posturings of love and joy, and gratitude, patience, and you begin to reconceive a new life. And I think that's a beautiful way of understanding how we can deliberately interact with our process of generating experiences in time-space that represent what we really are. Like what you are as an expression of love, it's wordlessly wondrous to experience what you are as a vibration of love, to know that you are a limitless extension of infinite love, but that you have the freedom to choose to be limited to fear, that we have the freedom, the absolute freedom to be fearful, to be depressed, but we also have the freedom to be joyful and happy. We have absolute freedom in that we can choose that. I love it. It's great. See if there's any more questions. Question from Tanya. Can we all send light and love to each other here for a minute and strengthen each other's fields? It is being done. As you have issued these words, this is being done. This vibration of light that enters your body through the eye. The light enters your eye. It is within the central core. Allow the light of your eye to come into matter. You are the light entering matter. You, as awareness, are light. You are life. You are life itself. Feel the light that is you. The energy, the life flowing through that body, the life emanating the fields of electromagnetic energy around the body. This all flows through you, the awareness. Your body is simply the temple through which you may shine. Choose life. Choose love. Choose what you will issue forth into that body and into the space around that body and into the world. Cool. I like that. Thank you so much for that suggestion. Hello, Janina. Wonderful. There's a comment that was made here by Janina that I want to address as the final consideration today. Hello, beautiful family. How can I stop hurting myself and accepting a toxic relationship with an ad person, a manipulated person? Okay. Yes, well, I know that's obvious. Sorry, they're just saying the same thing. Most obvious thing is to stop doing that. To cultivate for you a feeling of freedom, that you are free of this, not free of this person, but to be cultivating a feeling of you are free. The joy of that energy will reorganize these affairs for you. To remain connected deliberately to this feeling of freedom. If you were free of this situation, what is the energy that you would be experiencing your life as? And it is that result that you wish to have now. Be aware of the freedom from this, how it would feel, how you would feel being free of this right now, to stay in that vibration of freedom right now, to remain in it, even when they are in your presence, to deliberately remain in that vibration of freedom, regardless of what they are saying or doing, to stay connected to that vibration of freedom within yourself, consciously and deliberately. You will begin to see changes around you fairly rapidly, for the polarity of the change will make that observation almost immediate. Your vibrational awareness of feeling freedom within you, you are that freedom. It is not dependent upon this person, but dependent upon your attention to that vibration that you call freedom. Be in that, whether they are around you or not around you. Be in that vibration as frequently and as consciously as you can. Let your body feel that vibration of freedom so that you emanate it into time and space and begin to organize the conditions that are necessary for its fulfillment. For it will be fulfilled. It will be fulfilled, for you are giving it your life. I love that. That's wonderful. And we really need to learn to do that, right? Yes. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for this day, Freedom from Fear. I'm really looking forward to tomorrow's meditation on Supernatural Saturday, because it is time. It is time to give yourself the freedom that is naturally what you are. You are freedom. That body and mind that you are expressing and experiencing life through is not who you are. It's a mechanism, a vehicle through which you receive information and transmit information. You can be the creator of life or subjective to the effects of life. And what Janina was just saying, in her vibration of staying and connect that feeling of freedom, she's going to create that energy of freedom, will create different things she'll say and different things she'll do from that energy than her fear and her frustration, which causes very specific words and actions. So I want to wish everybody much love today. Thank you for your contributions and your questions and your input, your focus and your support. Remember to like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and share it with other people. Humanity needs to know that we are here as creative entities, not simply just to be experiencing the slings and arrows of time, space, and matter. We are here to orchestrate time, space, and matter. And we are, whether we know it or not, whether we like it or not. Have yourselves a wonderful, joyful day. And again, thank you for your time, your patience, your energy. Much love.